Senator from Oregon is recognized.
Mr. President, ahead of the Senate's final vote on the nomination of Dr. Mehmet Oz to head up the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, I want to just take a couple of minutes to describe what's at stake with this vote. Dr. Oz is the second Trump nominee to pass through the Senate Finance Committee with a record of dodging Medicare and Social Security taxes. That means, if confirmed, the person running the Medicare program thinks it's acceptable to not pay the taxes he owes into the programs he's running. Let me repeat that. If confirmed, the person running the Medicare program thinks it's acceptable to not pay the taxes he owes into the program he's running. Now, in addition, during the consideration of this nominee, I pressed Dr. Oz on whether he believes nursing homes ought to be staffed with a registered nurse 24/7. Once again, Dr. Oz refused to answer my question. Mr. President, he claimed it was a complicated question. Not really, I told him. An AI chatbot paid for by private equity isn't going to take your mom to the bathroom or bring your grandpa his meals every day. I don't think it's at all complicated whether there ought to be a nurse on staff at every single nursing home. Dr. Oz is certainly very able on television, but seems to have no understanding that technology is no replacement for real nurses and real medical staff. That attitude is going to have a real impact as Donald Trump and Republicans in the Congress pursue nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts to achieve their billionaire tax breaks, which House Republicans have already passed. Several weeks ago, Senate Republicans confirmed one of Trump's most unqualified and dangerous nominees to date, RFK Jr., who would be heading up America's health care at HHS. He was confirmed as well. Now our country is facing the biggest measles outbreak in decades, while the Trump administration touts the benefits of cod liver oil and convinces parents not to vaccinate their kids. The country has heard tragic tales of families following RFK Jr.'s advice on unproven alternative treatments for measles that end up sending kids to hospitals. And just this week, he abruptly fired more than 10,000 public health workers, many of whom reportedly helped seniors navigate insurance plans when they were denied care or provide oversight over nursing homes. Everything this administration is doing is an effort to make you and your family less safe. Dr. Oz, unfortunately, has been out there peddling over the years unproven cures and treatments and encouraging people to ignore proven facts and science. The dangers of promoting unqualified wellness grifters to be in charge of health care in our country is not just a talking point. These are real and deadly matters. This week, Donald Trump and Senate Republicans are gearing up to pass their massive tax giveaway to billionaires and corporations. They're paying for it by gutting Medicaid and cutting off the services that millions of Americans rely on. Food stamps, Meals on Wheels, and Head Start are all on the chopping block just so billionaires can go out and buy things like more yachts. These cuts to Medicaid are going to be devastating for kids and people with disabilities. It can destroy care in nursing homes as we know it. It will rip basic care away from seniors and kids. Dr. Oz would be responsible for executing the destruction brought down on the Medicaid program by the cuts Republicans are preparing to make. And there would be premium hikes. Let me mention that. Premium hikes for everybody else who gets their insurance through the marketplace when Republicans take away the tax credits that lower premiums. During his confirmation hearing, I gave Dr. Oz the opportunity to go on the record and reassure the American people he wouldn't go along with the Republican scheme to rip away health care. He refused. So I also asked Dr. Oz if he was confirmed, would he travel to Malheur County in my home state? It's an overwhelmingly rural and red county, and it also has the most recipients of Medicaid of any county in Oregon. Dr. Oz agreed to come to Malheur County and explain Trump's catastrophic cuts face to face with Oregonians. I'm going to hold him to that. He's going to have to answer to the people of Oregon and Malheur County about these inhumane policies. Republicans are full steam ahead with their plans to gut Americans' health care and put for-profit insurance companies and private equity firms in charge of Americans' health. So here's the real question with respect to this vote that'll be coming up. What is at stake on the Mehmet Oz vote? What's at stake is whether your aging parents can be safe in their nursing home. What's at stake is whether your kids can go see a doctor. What's at stake is the very health and well-being of your family. By supporting the Oz nomination, Republicans are sending a very clear message that they're a lot more afraid of Donald Trump than having to answer to their own constituents. Every member of this body that votes to confirm Dr. Oz is going to own the consequences of this decision, those consequences that I spelled out. I yield the floor. I urge the Senate to oppose this nomination when we vote later.